Hello, this is Amos with the Countingtocalculus program and the Learning Institute for Excellence. In this video, I'm going to be talking about why we do not do homework help at our company. Going forward, today's August 20th, 2026, we will no longer offer homework help. And I want to provide some reasons why, some thoughts for educators, some thoughts for parents, and where we go from here. The idea of homework is actually not as old as people think, and the context with which it came about is actually a little questionable. Now, think about a child's life. They went to school. This is especially K-12. I'm not talking about university and beyond. We could get into some of those discussions, even though I would argue that the model doesn't necessarily work well in that context due to fragmentation. What I mean by fragmentation is when I'm taking 10, let's say 5 classes, and my teachers don't all talk to one another, and now I'm spending all day into the night trying to work hard. It's just not a healthy lifestyle, because then it leads to other problems. We'll keep that aside. Let's focus on K-12 education. K-12 education homework. Let's go back and do the research. Why does it exist? What is the point? And how effective is it? There are countries of the world where they don't do homework and the students are doing great. They're doing fine. There are countries of the world where they do homework and the students are also doing great and fine. I get it. But let's talk about America for a second. A lot of homework in America is busy work. It's busy work, and it causes teachers sometimes to lose time away from their families because of this busy work, that sometimes the next year the kid ends up doing something similar. Or they go to college and they have to take a remediation class and do the same thing. Homework as an idea is a problem. I'm not talking about practice. Practice is important. It's important for us to practice. But I practice based on what I need to learn as the pace of my mastery. Not at the pace that someone tells me I need to be practicing by. If I want to do quantum mechanics, so if I want to do advanced physics, I don't need to sit in a room and be told that I can only do certain topics tomorrow. Why? Especially in an age of knowledge abundance. So why do we not do homework help? Number one, because homework is a waste of time most of the time. That's number one. Number two, busy work and literally disrupting people's lives. The students and the parents and the teachers. It's like a lose, lose, lose. Amos, but how is my child going to master what they're learning? Let's look at the data. Have you looked at the data of American students who are doing okay academically in 8th grade? Or in 4th grade, or in college, where some college students can add fractions? That's interesting. Maybe the one-size-fits-all model where I tell you to do 50 problems, even though you know how to do it, is not going to work. Or I tell you to do 50 problems and you don't know how to do it, so now you're losing sleep and you're trying to figure out how to do it on your own. So this leads me to a word of advice for teachers. Teachers, if you assign a student something to do and they are not able to do it themselves confidently, what is the classroom time for then? If a child was in class, they left the class and they're still confused, and then they have to do homework, that is wrong. That is not right. I say that in love, but that is not right. The reason why it's not right is because maybe that child should not be in that class. That's number one. Number two, we could argue maybe they should be in the class and they need to get a tutor. Why though? Especially if the child is going to school from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. and then we're going to give them homework. When are they going to get a life? When are they going to figure out what to do with their lives? And oh boy, now we got Amos talking about the question of vision in education. Do you know the number of students graduating who have no idea what to do with their lives? Could it be because we take so much of their time with busy work? Let me even go further to say something, because I also do a lot of research on this issue of social media and so on. There's a book here called The Anxious Generation. I want to say something about this. Imagine you go to school. You want to make friends. You want to be in a community. But you have to pay attention and follow the line and do this and do this and do this and do this. And then we're going to give you homework afterwards. Oh, and you're going to get short recess. And then we'll give you quick homework afterwards. And then boom. Okay, now you can, you go home and now you have to do your homework. Guess what it's going to cause some students to do after all of that? They just want to go somewhere and put their minds to, like, just waste their minds, so to speak. I don't know the words to use, but, like, you know what I mean? Like, just want to lazy around. But could the lazying around be also because of the education system that they found themselves in, where they couldn't go and be with friends and make friends and respectfully have community? This is not a call to say that classroom time should be all about friend making. My question is, could the systems in our education system, cause children to get to a point where they're exhausted, they're tired? It might be worth considering. This is not a call to lower the bar. If you know Amos, I think we need to teach Calc 1, 2, and 3 to every child in America. I really believe that in K-12. I believe it with my whole heart. I do. I believe kids should be doing differential equations and linear algebra in K-12. But Amos, how is all that possible? It takes a whole different way of thinking to do this, but we could discuss that. And that's what the Countingtocalculus framework was built on, is this model where we give children the chance to keep going at the pace of their mastery. No summer break. That's the other thing interesting about my model. No summer break. You could take breaks here and there, but you learn year round. So again, Amos is not trying to lower the bar. Some people argue his bar might be too high, but Amos is saying the tools are available to help the students get to a high bar. But this idea of busy work, repetitive work that they might have done last year with fractions, and now they have homework with more fractions again. Our systems might be ruining the learning process for some students. This is not to say that there's no need for practice. There's need for practice, but practice at the pace of the mastery of the person practicing. But Amos, how do we get all the class to okay, that's where we make a mistake. The goal should be also about the child, the individual. That's my heart cry. How do we ensure that children are reaching their full potential and flourishing? Homework, I think, is not the way to go. What we need to do instead is to make sure children are placed in the appropriate class, that they're learning at the pace of their mastery, that they learn the importance of practice, that they learn the importance of time management, that parents are equipped with the tools, that resources are available to every child, that they need, if I need a resource with more examples or more videos, then let that be available somehow. If not, it's not fair to send a child home who might get home at 6 p.m., might be very hungry, trying to figure out what to do with their day, and then be thinking about homework. Teachers, please, we need to change. We need to change doing this. I don't know who we need to talk to, but this is not working. We're burning people out for no reason. Let's make sure that we pay attention to what actually helps the children flourish and not what causes some of them to ask, why am I even here? What's the point? It's about practice. And it's about year-round learning. This is especially applicable to math. Not about heavy doses in a short amount of time that destroys the appetite for a child to even learn that subject. I hope this was helpful. I know it might sound controversial to some, but please do your homework. Funny enough, do your homework about the history of homework and then look at the state that we're in. And then I didn't even talk about this, and I'll end with this. In the world we live in now, children have in their pockets tools that can do their homework for them. I'm not saying that they should use these tools to do their homework. I'm just being honest with you. That means that the child who doesn't care can just use the tools to do the homework, and the child who actually wants to learn well is now staying up late at night trying to figure out what to do. If for no other reason, because of the state of affairs, we need to have a press conference, we need to have an emergency meeting, homework needs to go, and we need to get the classroom time used to the max and inspire the students to do more practice, but teach them how to study and time management, and then help them make the most of their time, which might involve practicing what they need help with, but not because it's simply assigned to them to do, but because they see that it is necessary for them to go to the next level. That takes some maturity, but why should we lower the bar? The time is to raise it high. The children are capable of more. Let's help them aim for the moon. Take care and have a blessed day.